forces there. Gonna start moving down. Midas sieging up to get in position. Goliath's gonna get in close though, or not. You're gonna try to get in close, but yeah, Midas way too many siege tanks for anything to try to even run in close through that death line. Midas still hasn't saturated his upper left, but look at those wraiths, dear lord! Seems to be just waiting until he has all the energy he wants just to start scanning. Seems to be a drop coming out of the upper left, and are the wraiths going to come in time? Do seem to be a little bit late. Yo, the wraiths are out of range. Going to be forced to back off. Going to be a float. SCV's coming in, apparently to go to the upper left, and they're like, ah, crap. We're going to go to work and die while we do it, aren't we? So really at the moment has been denied a base himself, his 6th, but even though denied Midas' 6th. Wraith is coming in though, such a huge amount. Just, oh, scans come off, but the Goliath's going to die anyway. Even, Goliath can't pick off that many Wraiths, so really going to lose all those forces just to Wraiths. Cloaked Wraiths, deadly. Midas ahead in upgrades as well on his ground forces. Wow, look at those Wraiths just coming in, picking off all those tanks. So huge. That huge a number of Wraiths, deadly against any tank number, really. Turrets are still going to be a bit of a trouble, because, trouble. Oh, my lord! Oh, my god. Valkyries in a TVT. Oh, how often. I thought this might be a promising TVT. Glad I decided to commentate instead of doing something funky with it. Valkyries in a freaking TVT. That's awesome. Really going to meanwhile drop this upper right-hand position. Midas is going to be forced to get all of his SCVs out of dodge. Or just the upper right-hand position. Now officially called dodge. Still, oh my god, that Wraith fleet is just beautiful to look at. Going to be forced afloat. Command Center might still stay in there. Only one Goliath attacking at the moment, so Command Center might still stay in there. Midas still has Wraiths near that position, but I'm not really sure how really he's going to be able to utilize his Valkyries. Yes, a small number of Valkyries, they can do quite a bit of damage to those Wraiths if they manage to scan them and catch them in position, but it's still going to be an issue. Because Wraiths, it's kind of hard to get them to fire the way you want them to, because it always seems like they have to stop, fire, three Valkyries at the moment. I know he's not worried that much about resources, just as long as he gets his bases going, he's not worried about spending resources on these Valkyries. He's not spending anything on dropship, but he's had a pretty large number for already, and hasn't really had it picked up. But that many Wraiths, God, I've even been running with those Valkyries. I'd be very, very excited to see that fight. Just really has to be careful not to get too many Valkyries. When you got too many Valkyries firing all at the same time, the ammo just starts glitching itself out. I don't know, heat-seeking missiles apparently give off a heat signature and they just shoot each other or something. I don't know. I don't even think, do they even fire off heat-seeking missiles? I think they're heat seekers. They're just called something funky. Anyway, Midas meanwhile has picked up the 3 o'clock position for himself, the natural to the 4 o'clock. And really has picked up the entire right side, lower side of the map. Did force a float on the 2 o'clock of Midas. And finally now adding in more starports. What is this going to be? What is this craziness? I don't know. I don't even know if I want to know. I like in the fact that they're not going to science facility tech. They're not going to the highest tech. I'm actually hoping we don't get battle cruisers because I'm sick of them, and I don't think any of the players would go for battle cruisers at this point. It seems like a dangerous thing to go for. Midas does have tanks there at range on the high ground, so it seems like that's enough at least to discourage him. Midas, meanwhile, really running in towards the upper left, but Midas just beyond those X. Huge tank numbers sieging up, just ripping those ground forces to pieces. Midas just, oh my ass, you got my base. All your base belongs to me. And those Valkyries just flying around uselessly. And I think Midas got a spot on that. Still producing Wraiths and dropships. Should be 3 control groups at this point. Some of those fans out there probably going like me, oh my god, what's going on? It's mad, seriously. Mad. Finally just some additional starports there from... Really, also adding in his own Wraiths, gonna start getting his own cloak going, but he's like, copycat. Midas gonna see it and go, hey, you copycat a-hole. It's my idea. Armory seems to be working on aerial upgrades at this point. Midas has full down commits, but we saw those 2 armories pitting. Both players have weapons 3, and I think we're just gonna see air upgrades going now. 1 and 1 for the air forces for really. 5 Valkyries and Wraiths to support. If he gets in there in time, if Midas basically doesn't do anything about those Valkyries quickly enough, he might actually get in trouble, because Valkyries supported by their own Wraiths. cloaked wraiths. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be crazy. You're going to have a lot of scans flying all over the place. Mind you, I doubt this aerial battle will take place over turrets, because whatever player flies into the turrets is just inviting trouble onto himself with those cloaked wraiths out there. Really still wanting to keep some of those dropships alive, but doesn't really seem to be utilizing them anymore. Just going for ground move to the upper left hand, which Midas has them safe at the moment. Still not sure what he's doing at the upper right hand. Getting one of his Valkyrie going to get picked off by those turrets flying in there, spawning at the position. Sacrificing a Valkyrie just for a scout, that seemed odd. I bet he just thought that there were forces there to kill, some wraiths to kill, and instead kind of, oops. Did see weapons 2 and armor 1 upgrades on those wraiths, so they can definitely take a hit. Just now, Really's aerial upgrades hit as well. Gonna see Midas probably going 3 and 2 soon, and if I assume 2 armor is the most likely option. He's, meanwhile, added in another starport in there. Just like, you're trying to copycat me? I can have more wraiths than you, and if I have more wraiths than you, I win! Simple as that. Let's see. Midas, meanwhile, going to start focusing on the left side of the map, just controlling the airwaves. Well, not the air, just the air, rather. Oh my god, look at those. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 additional starports for Really. So he's really going to start kicking Wraith production into high gear. Midas, meanwhile, going to start focusing on new base at the upper, of the left side, picking up the 8 o'clock main, the 7 o'clock secondary beyond those eggs. So he's going to try to, while he has aerial superiority at the moment still, he's going to try to get those bases up, keep those resources flowing. At the moment, though, both players have got to be close to max, if not already max. It's insane. Oh, 3 more starports there for Midas. And I'm not too sure, though, because the tank numbers aren't really as high as they were, and there have been a lot of damage done on all sides, so it's all kind of crazy. Overall, always seems to be a little bit extra space to produce some, not altogether too close. Getting close, but not too close. But at one point, when it starts getting to max, bases start mattering less a little bit. It does matter, however, how much of a surplus you have, and still kind of how many refills you have fully. It still matters, but just seems to start mattering a little less the further the game goes on. Just going to matter how you can take the battles. Now, if you can keep your bases going and can keep more bases up, even if you lose force, you're going to be able to replenish much quicker. And Midas has, I think, 8 or 10 starports producing wraiths at this point. So he knows exactly what he wants to do, and really, I think really is actually kind of playing to Midas' hand. He's hoping that going for Valkyries alongside wraiths of his own will give him an advantage. Midas is hoping that that is exactly not the case. He's been able to produce, he's been producing aerial forces for much longer. Midas getting 2 dropships picked off there needlessly. But Midas has been producing aerial forces for much, much longer. He's had air superiority for a while. He's utilized them well. And he's repelled attacks. That's why he's allowed to pick off this left hand. Meanwhile, going to lose that lower left hand just as I say that. Really, I think that's most of what really has on the ground. I don't think. Well, he has some ground forces near the middle, but the maneuverable forces that he can feels he can afford to move around doesn't seem to be that large a number. Midas, meanwhile, going to make sure he doesn't lose that 8 o'clock alongside. But the lower left hand base seems to be the only base worth fighting for now. Everything else seems to be either mined out or too well secured. So you might as well have that 8 mining, that 9 mining, the 10 mining, and seems to have still something a little bit at his secondary near the 12 o'clock position. So he's got 3 fully mining bases. Really, meanwhile, it just has his 3 and his 2, apparently, from what I can see. Some mining going on. Don't think too much physics lab coming in. So might see some battle cruisers going on for Midas. So he might actually go for a battle cruiser. Well, he's getting his full upgrade, so actually going for battle cruisers at this point is not that bad an idea. Soak up some damage, act as the ultralist to the Wraith Zerglings, I guess. Sounds still on the opposite side as well. Probably going to see. Are we going to see this physics lab? Commentators certainly think so. No physics lab from what I can see, anyway. But yeah, Midas hoping that maybe having a heavy amount of wraiths and getting some battle cruisers to support will give him an advantage. He's going to have full upgraded battle cruisers as they come out, so that's a boon right there. But yeah, the lower left hand and the 9 o'clock, inside 9 o'clock, seem to be the only bases worth fighting over. Anything else seems to be kind of meh. Midas apparently has a little... Okay, I thought it was some mineral mining at that inside 12. Seems to be wrong. But for the most part, yeah, Midas does have more mining bases. It has a bit of more mineral insight. Can't take that inside 9 because really he's too close to that. And not quite sure if he wants to move out. But the way it's setting itself up to be, Ugh, my tongue's going all crazy. I'm going to have a sip of water before I go to that thought.